Today we're going to be testing a Whirlpool electric dryer with no heat. If your dryer will run and won't heat, then you could have a couple different issues. A thermal cutoff kit. It comes with two parts. One of the parts is a thermistor that sits on the side of the element, and if it's burnt out it won't allow the dryer to heat, or it could be the element itself. Tools you'll need to get into the back of the dryer are a 1/4 inch nut driver or an electric screwdriver. Here, the nut driver required. First thing you'll need to do is remove all of the screws. Now remove the panel. Place it out of the way. Once you're inside the back of the dryer, you're going to need a digital multimeter or analog meter that can test voltage, whatever you've got available to you. On this particular one, we'll set it to 750 as the highest rating so it doesn't burn up the piece inside. And we'll be testing it for, if your dryer is not heating, we're going to be testing this piece here, the thermistor. It's a high limit that burns out to protect the element, and another high limit thermostat sitting right there beside the element, and the element, which is right here, and the element is here and here. We'll be testing all of this to see if there is power coming into the dryer. If your dryer isn't running at all on an electric dryer, then the little thermal fuse could be the issue there. Just a simple continuity test could tell you that. Before you do anything on an electric dryer, you want to make sure that you have 240 volts of electricity coming into the dryer. They'll run, but they won't heat. If you had a fuse box or a breaker issue, it'll run on 110, but it won't heat without the 240. So you always want to check at the plug where it plugs into the wall, and see if you have 240 volts coming in. So now to test all of the components in the back, you're going to set your analog reader or your digital multimeter to a continuity test, and get to the component. It's best to make sure your dryer is unplugged always before doing this stuff. You don't want to get zapped by this electricity. You can undo one of the wires or both, sometimes it doesn't matter, and test from piece to piece. This dryer is not broken. This is just for testing purposes. So right there we had a continuity. You heard the beep through this. If you had an analog meter, it's going to show you, the analog meter is going to jump up if it has ohms or continuity running through it. And then we'll test the thermostat down here by the two terminals on the element. On this particular one, it's got a jumper. On some of them, the thermostat itself has a jumper. On some of the different models, it's going to have 4 wires. It's going to have 4 wires running to 2 wires running to the thermostat, 2 wires running to the element. But on this one, it's a jumper. So now we'll test through the thermostat to the element, and that tells you when you have continuity to each terminal on the element that you're able to get, that power will pass through the element and the thermostat, which states that it's okay on this one because we know it's okay, but if yours does not have continuity through either of these pieces, then you need to replace one of those pieces. If you remove the wire from the element, if those other thermostats test okay, and test the element doesn't show continuity, you need to replace the element, which to replace the element, I'm just gonna remove the thermostat and 2 screws. And there you are, and put your new one in. Now if you have no heat and all of the heating components in the back test out okay, you get continuity through everything, maybe you plugged it back in, tested for 240 down there, and you're getting no power to any of the components, power doesn't stop anywhere, then you want to check your timer. And so you're going to need to remove all of these screws on the back of the panel. And you will set the timer to time dry, let's just say 50 minutes. And at that point, the timer contacts to connect your black and red wire should be engaged, and that should allow a continuity test, like so. So you'll place your prong here and here, and we're beeping, so we have continuity through the timer. If you don't get continuity, then your timer is the issue. It's not connecting both 110 leads coming in to give you the 240 required to heat the dryer. So you'll need to replace your timer at that point.